Hello guys and welcome to volokinproject. This is Tony, your favorite YouTuber, and today I've got something special. Something I've been dreaming about of getting since the first day it came out in June 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the HTC U12 Plus, their last proper true flagship. And in today's video I'm going to talk about why it failed. So, a very brief back history of me and HTC. I never really liked their pricing. I always thought that they're overpriced. That's why I always get them second hand. But it turns out that I really love some of them. Recently I reviewed a few HTC devices and man, I do fell in love in the HTC U11. Such an amazing phone. It costs just £100, 120. Amazing value for money. And I was like, man, the U12 Plus must be the absolute chart topper. I mean, man, I had so much expectations for this phone. And I remember watching the reviews back in the day and they were not very positive. There were a few issues and surprise, 2 years down the line, the same issues still remain. There is no Android 10 on the phone sorting out some of the issues. The last security patch is from June or July last year, 2019, guys, which is an absolute joke considering that we are talking about a flagship here. The Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which came out well a year before this phone, is already on security patch level from February 2020, guys. Of course, Android 9, no Android 10 for it. It's not gonna get updated, but anyway, they sorted out most of the issues. Now, time to talk about the HTC U12. First of all, the design. I mean, it was one of the first phones, kind of. Not exactly. The HTC Firefox One had a transparent back years ago, but anyway, this kind of semi-transparent blue color at the back was absolutely amazing, and the flame red color really nice as well. However, the phone feels kind of bulky. I mean, it's not that heavy, it's 190 grams, but the sides feel a little bit like, what was the name? One of the cheap phones that I reviewed the last few years, HomeTom. Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit thick at the sides. It's a very strong metal, guys, and overall you have this kind of weird boxy feeling of this phone. It doesn't feel very ergonomic, and the thing is that I have a few scratches on the back cover already, so you have to use a case. However, if you use a silicone case, forget about it because of the buttons, guys. HTC decided to solve a problem that didn't exist before, right? I mean, when you have a button, you expect when you press the button, you know, to trigger an action. In the HTC's case, there are buttons, but they don't press. And the thing is that, of course, you can adjust, you know, the level of sensitivity of those buttons, but once you put a case, forget about it. You do not press these buttons, guys. And even without the case, sometimes you press the button and nothing happens. It's like, why do you have a buttons when you don't know what's gonna happen when you press it? Is it going to activate or it doesn't? So that's something very weird that HTC decided to innovate, I can imagine, and failed miserably, guys. Happy to report that inside the box over here, by the way, you've got this transparent plastic case, but when you put this one on, you've got a proper brick in your pocket, guys. One other thing that I'm super happy about HTC including in the box is the U-Sonic headphones. They're amazing, guys. Probably one of the best USB Type-C headphones up to date. What I'm not happy about is the 3.5mm dongle. It's one of the best on the market. I have a dedicated video talking about dongles. The HTC One is probably one of my favorites, guys, and it is not included in the box. It was included in the U11 and it was omitted in the U12 Plus. By the way, I've got no idea why the plus thingy, but anyway, probably because it is big. And that brings us to the next thing, the screen. Yes. Usually I don't have a problem with LCD screens. They're okay, you know, the blacks are not the blah blah blah. However, Huawei Mate 10. Amazing, beautiful Quad HD screen. And I thought like HTC, man, this screen is gonna be beautiful. Nope. The screen itself is fine, it's Quad HD, that's alright. But the maximum brightness is absolutely hilarious, guys. I live in the UK, we don't see the sunshine that much. And even me going outside, the other day I was queuing up to the post office to send some parcels and I can't see what's going on the screen. If you live in a hot country, just forget about this phone now, skip the video and go pick something else, guys. I can't believe that they've put out such a dim screen, guys. Otherwise the screen is fine, I don't mind, but man, the brightness, no. Now the other reason this phone is that thick is the battery. If you worked on HTC phones before, you know that their engineering is absolutely ridiculous inside. I mean the hardware, the engineering of the hardware, guys. There are main boards, flex cables all over the place. That's why the phone is so thick, but the battery life is only 3500 mAh. There is no Qi wireless charging over here, although the glass is transparent. It would have been nice if they included that. Yes, of course, there's NFC, but now there's the charging time, guys. Half an hour gives you 42%, and 100% you reach in 2 hours. This was pretty much the slower of them all. If we don't count Sony, they're still over 2 hours. So yeah. And now what about the battery life? You might think, man, I mean, it got a decent bump over the U11, 500 mAh more. Probably the battery life is good. No, actually the battery life is worse or probably the same as the U11, guys. If you really push the phone, you're getting 3.5, maybe 4 hours of screen on time. And you think like, okay, I'm gonna turn down the screen from 4K to 1080p to save battery. No, it doesn't save battery, guys. You have to realize that when the screen offers different resolutions, it's the panel itself which drains the battery, not the resolution. So if the panel itself is power hungry, then you're not gonna get a good battery life. Now, there are always these kind of people which use the phone without a SIM card, with 50% brightness, watching Netflix all day long, and after that they're claiming a great battery life. I did that, 6 hours, guys. If you sit at home, if you turn the screen at 50%, which you can't really see, you can reach 6 hours of battery life, but this is not the point, guys. And the other thing is that you get a small performance boost, as well as improving the game performance if you turn the screen down to 1080p, which is natural. Now, in terms of performance, Snapdragon 845, 835, it doesn't matter. Amazing performance. I think 845. Amazing performance, not much heating issues, very smooth gaming. I'm not gonna talk about that. Amazing performance, guys. About the security of the phone, the rear mounted fingerprint reader, really fast and accurate. Not the best, but really good. And of course, you've got face unlock, a dedicated face unlock, guys, which again is not the best, but it works fine. Granted, there is no lift to wake function like that, guys. If you leave the phone pretty much, wait a second. Yeah, okay. If you leave the phone like that, nothing really happens, which doesn't really help with the face unlock. And the other thing is that the double tap function just doesn't work. I don't know how exactly there is a double tap function, but it doesn't work, so there we go. Oh, I forgot to say about the speakers, by the way. You've got a stereo speaker setup over here, and knowing HTC, you expect miracles, but unfortunately that's not exactly the case, guys. It is a slight improvement over the HTC U11, but it cannot match the Galaxy, well, let's say S9, something like that. It's not that good. I mean, it is very good, almost the best, but not exactly what you expect from HTC, if that makes sense. Now, about the software, you're getting a stock Android experience, again, security patch level July 2019. Can you imagine, guys? And this phone really would benefit from, Android 10 because of a few things, guys. Of course, you've got, the squeeze gestures, which are programmable. I have them off because they're not very convenient to use. Anyway, that's not a problem. The other thing that I really do like, by the way, is the ability to, let me stop that video. Why am I taking video myself? I've got no idea, probably pressed a few wrong buttons. Can you see over here the nav bar? You've got two nav bars actually, and you can program them and add a screen of button, which is really neat. The problem is that the size of the bar is too big, guys. So how many times, I don't know how many times I'm typing something and I press the home button and I see the application. That happens quite a lot and I don't like that. The other thing is that you've got no proper dark mode as well, and you've got no gestures, guys. You've got just the old school buttons. If they updated it to Android 10, you've got the gestures, you're getting rid of this bar at the bottom and everything would be fixed, but no updates whatsoever. And as far as I know, for Android 9 there is still no root available, so when you go to XDA there's pretty much no ROMs for this phone, which is a shame. And finally, let's talk about the cameras, and I've got no idea what HTC are thinking. HTC 10 had optical image stabilization on the camera. The HTC U11 removed that, but had an excellent, one of the best hands down 60 megapixel cameras I have ever seen. And what did they do with the U12? They've downgraded the camera to 8 megapixels and they've put another one. It's like, why did you do that? I mean, with these thick bezels over here, they could have easily put another 16 megapixel camera and absolutely kill it, but no, they didn't. Of course, the bokeh effects are good, but the photos are overall over sharpened and at the same time kind of not very clear, which is a very weird combination. And the other thing is that you've got HDR available, but if you use the bokeh, you're losing the HDR, which doesn't make sense at all. And also when we talk about video stabilization, well, there is none, and the maximum video resolution is 1080p. So the front-facing camera, And you might think that on the back the situation is good because now you've got a telephoto camera, right? No. I mean, the telephoto camera helps with the bokeh quite a lot, and you can take pictures like that, really good ones. In terms of the pure quality of the zoom, when zooming compared to if you crop the main camera, the difference is very, very small, but it's kind of somewhat better. What is not better is the actual camera performance, unfortunately. The HTC U11 had one camera and you kind of give it a pass. I mean, there's so much you can do with one camera, although here you've got two cameras. And the thing is, once the light goes down and you're trying to take, low light photos, they become super cold. I don't know why that is. You've got manual mode, you can correct that, but the manual mode works only for photos, it doesn't work for videos. So it's like, manual photos and no manual videos, like, why? Now, when we talk about videos, the situation is a little bit strange because you've got different modes. So 4K 60 FPS, you've got this option, which was impressive 2 years ago, but unfortunately you're relying only on the optical image stabilization, which doesn't help a lot, and the autofocus is just not working properly. On 4K 30 FPS, the autofocus is actually amazing, guys. And now when we go back to 1080p, 1080p 30 is actually excellent in terms of autofocus and stabilization, but in the same time 60 FPS doesn't have a stabilization, but again excellent autofocus. So it's like, you really have to put it down on a list of paper, something like that, and kind of check what can you do and what you cannot do with it. I mean, it's not very consistent, but there we go. So before I go, let's quickly have a look at the Volokin Spectrum scoring system, guys. I've got 10 categories and I give scores from 1 to 6 if it's unique and 1 if it's pretty bad. Considering how high the HTC U11 actually scored, I had way higher expectations for the 12, but unfortunately it failed miserably, guys. So let's have a look at the first category, design and build quality. And although the phone is absolutely beautiful, guys, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 because it is bulky and these buttons are absolutely killing it. For security, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. Both the fingerprint reader and the face unlock are good, but not the best. The battery life gets only 2 out of 5, guys. 3.5 hours, it is not acceptable. The screen gets 4 out of 5. The outside visibility is absolutely killing it. The speakers get 4 out of 5. They're really good, but the headphone output gets only 3 out of 5. Not only you don't have a 3.5mm jack, but the dongle is gone as well. The software gets 4 out of 5. I really like stock Android experience, but man, security patch level from last year is not acceptable. And the performance gets 5 out of 5, of course. The selfie camera, with the lack of any autofocus and with the downgraded performance, I can't really give it more than 2 out of 5, guys. And the back camera is okay, but not the best. So how much is the overall vlogging spectrum score? Is 36 out of, well, 60. And you can see that we've got a problem over here, guys. This one is a downgrade from the HTC U11 pretty much in every single way, which was absolutely unexpected because 2018, man, Oppo Find X released just 1 month after this phone. I've got it, it's over here next to the TV. Oh man, night and day. I mean, you can see the future technology in the Oppo Find X, and you can see the, yesterday's tricks in terms of the hardware of the HTC U12, and the software didn't help at all, and it's like there is no reason to buy this phone, honestly. But the second-hand market, you can pick one of those for like 300 pounds, guys, which is absolutely ridiculous for what this phone offers. The U11, you can get a decent unit for 100, 120, which is the bargain of the year, but this one, 300 pounds for this one, man, that is crazy. I didn't buy it for 300, of course, but I actually sold it for 300, which doesn't make sense, but considering this is the last true HTC flagship, people have hope, there is a certain demand, and there is not many of them for sale, so that's why the prices are high. But man, 2018, you've got the OnePlus 6, absolutely amazing phone, the Huawei Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro, better phones. The Samsung Galaxy S9 came in 2009, guys, 2018. So there were so many better phones. Pretty much every single company had a better phone than the HTC U12, and compared that with a high price tag that they were trying to charge, and that's why it failed, guys. And I'm really sorry to say that, but that is the reality. Don't get me wrong, if you bought the HTC U12 Plus, it probably still works fine, you're happy with it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But now in 2020, if you're after a decent HTC phone, get the U11. Simple as that. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.